For those of you who may not have listened to the previous show when Joan and John were on, Joan Walker is a gifted channel for the Archangels and Ascended Masters. She's used this gift personally for many years. She emerged into the public arena in 2005 as a channel and a spiritual teacher by facilitating teachings and special projects for Master Kasumi and Archangels Metatron, Michael, Zadkiel, and Uriel. The purpose of that is to guide humanity's shift in consciousness. At the specific request of Archangel Metatron, and under the guidance of the Archangels and Ascended Masters, Joan and her husband and partner John are now being guided to expand their work to teaching and to sharing timely and important channeled messages for the public, just like the one we're going to hear about today. Joan and John Walker, welcome back to Conversation at the Cutting Edge.
Well, thank you for inviting us.
We're always pleased to be here with you, sharing this day and this information.
Well, as I said, your last appearance on this show was so popular that it was our audience that said, get them back, get them back. Today was a surprise to be told that there would be not two of you, but three of you joining us. So tell us, Joan, why now? What is important about this message being shared now?
Well, I think that there are a lot of suppositions about what 2014 will bring. And some of them are doom and gloom, and some of them are positive. I think what the Ark Angelic Realm and the Master Realm want us to know is that we can create anything. And we do create through our thoughts and our emotions. So if you approach this oncoming year with trepidation and negativity, that's exactly what you're going to create. And they're trying to encourage us to see that things have shifted energetically on our planet and that we can make such a difference in the coming year, that this whole 2014 has been aligned energetically to allow us to create very positively and also very powerfully.
Now, in the conversation, it became quite clear that many people think that we are raising our consciousness. We are the ones that are reading the books, doing the work, doing the meditations, etc. But it became quite clear to me that we actually have help because the light beings, the Lords of Light, the Elohim, the Archangels, the Ascended Masters, are actually participating in this grand awakening that's taking place. Can you tell us, how are they participating?
Well, the Elohim are the masters of creation, and they create form. They created us, our bodies. They co-created our world. The Lords of Light also participated in that they're the architects of energetics. And they oversee and disperse certain light frequencies and energetics as they are needed for our evolution. They're very much an integral part of our evolution and our ascension process. But they also have said on numerous occasions to John and I that we are the ones with the body. These changes have to be made in the physical world by those embodied. They can assist by transmitting light, by supporting us, loving us, but they cannot do what we can do because we have chosen to come into this body at this time, and we are the ones that will create this shift, not only into fifth dimension, which a great many beings have already attained that, but into a multidimensional functioning, which was the original purpose of creating Earth in the first place.
Tell me what you mean when you say transmitting light.
Well, they are very powerful light beings, and they reflect the original template for creation. Those concepts and templates and energetics that stream from the Godhead, from Prime Creator, from the All That Is. And they adhere to that very precisely. The other thing that needs to be mentioned at this time, a while back, I believe it was in 2003, there was a dispensation given at the level of the Godhead. Earth is a free will planet. So up until that point, they could not interfere with our decisions, our choices, or what we were creating because we had free will. But it was determined that some intercession was needed. Not only that, but many who were embodied had been petitioning the Godhead for intercession, for dispensations, for interference. And that was granted in certain instances. It wasn't across the board. It wasn't a blanket okay to usurp the free will of humanity. But in certain instances, they have the ability to transmit certain frequencies of light that help us to reawaken our consciousness more fully and to realize that we must make changes, that have more of a realization of who we are as a very powerful being. And being embodied in a body is only a minute part of who we are.
So when you say special dispensation was granted, is that because we really were hurtling in the wrong direction?
Yes. We failed many times to resurrect this planet from its fallen state. And it became apparent that if there wasn't some intercession, not just by the beings embodied on our part as light workers or as spirits devoted to evolving our planet back to its original state, but if there wasn't some kind of assistance given at that time, there was a great chance that we wouldn't make it again.
So their intervention has been very important in this awakening process that's going on.
Absolutely, yes.
And I might add, too, that what this brought about is what's happening today is that this free will was always a limitation for the archangels to be of assistance. But many, many people now, the three people on this line right now, have asked for help from the Ark Angelic Realm, and they are giving it. And a lot of the new beings that are coming forth on this planet are coming forth with the attitude that they are totally open and wanting of help from the archangelics. So, this is sort of opened up a huge channel of assistance, energetic assistance that the archangelic realm can give us, which is just huge, I think.
So what was the gist of this message?
Well, the gist of the message was that we're very powerful creators, and we need to understand that. We need to embrace that. As I said before, it is through our thoughts and our feelings that we create our reality. So the more that we can pay attention to what we're creating in our life and the possibility of change, the better off we are as creators, and the more powerfully we create the change, that it is not something to be feared, it's needed, and that we can affect a change.
Many people feel that their voice does not count, that it counts within their own tiny little circle, but out there in the big world, yes, we all know that collectively we have the power to vote in presidents and prime ministers, etc. But most people, they don't sign petitions because they think, oh, it's just me, and if I don't sign, maybe other people will, so it doesn't really matter. But what you're saying is that we all have to participate in this.
Yes. When you don't participate, you become a victim of your circumstance. And that's a remnant of that third-dimensional patterning, that old third-dimensional matrix that has been dismantled. But there still are fragments of that program that affect us. The sooner we can step out of that victim role and the fear of our creating a change, the better off we are, and the more we can step into the power of our creativeness. And they are encouraging us to do that.
But how do we do that? How can we effect change on the other side of the world? How can one individual do that?
It's unity consciousness. Well, I think Michael was saying today how important it is for us individually to not be overwhelmed by the task, that we have to do it one at a time. We have to do it every day in all our relationships, all our communications, and we have to be very careful that we keep very positive. And it's like the old movie or a show or something about playing it forward, and that was an indicator of exactly what Michael is telling us that we need to continue to do. And it will spread. It just multiplies geometrically, not linear. He feels that by us continuing to do that one-on-one in our communities, you mentioned about the signing petitions, and there's many evidences of that being just phenomenally successful. People are listening. You can just feel it. And when you say the word positive, as Michael said, the energy of that word is much more than just spelling the word out. It's much more powerful than that. He's really pushing us to take that approach every day and to make sure that when we see the other side of it, that we don't ignore it. We encourage our media, our corporations, our financial institutions, our politicians to all be that way and do the best they can. Don't sell your soul down the road, because that's not what's good for everybody. And the more people we can get to hear that and accept that and use it every day, I think that's what Michael's getting at, bottom line.